everybody, it's Tran here and welcome back to Library of Ruina. Today we are going to play another mod, which is the reception of the Pale Librarian, or the library, or whatever other name you can think of. It is called the library here. I think it was called Librarian of Death in the Steam page. It's really weird, but it is a really interesting reception that I like a lot, and it does have stories, so let's actually start with that. And I have not seen the stories, I have just beaten the fight to see that there are no bugs in the fights, and there aren't any, so that's great. Dots, a lot more dots. That just now should have been a fragment of the invitation process, showing us our guest. Usually we can see at least something, right? Was there a problem this time? I'm curious about that too, but we have a bigger problem. I didn't actually send out an invitation. What? But then that means that the invitation made its way to somebody on its own. And although we couldn't see anything, we can infer that whoever received it must have signed it, since we got a glimpse in the first place. Which means an unknown guest is current here? So it seems. A being with power stronger than my will used the library to send out an invitation to someone. And now that someone is coming here for whatever has been waged on our behalf. How eerie. This could be even worse than the ensemble or the head barged in uninvited. I mean, we don't know what the guest's coming here for, and there's someone behind it who knows the secrets of the library, right? What did you say? Oh, just dots. At any rate, if a guest is coming, all we need to do is receive them, same as always. Please prepare yourself. Will you be alright on your own? Don't worry about it, I'm perfectly safe as long as I'm in the library. Besides, I've already had to welcome guests without knowing who they were thrice before. There was someone else as shifty as the blue circus that's my first time seeing this word. Entourage, I think that's how I'm going to read it. And the hat? There was. He's even standing right in front of me. Ah, sorry about that, ma'am. But alright, I get it. If anything happens, just call for me. Of course, I'll be counting on you. And here is our enemy, Angela herself. Yep. It truly is a nostalgic sight. Guided by the dazzling light, humans would make their way to the library. As I stand here now, I can understand why the guests were so entranced by the books. Greetings, dear guest. Also, you can see that this Angela sprite was made with the original one, as you can clearly see the outline of her normal hair. But then more hair was added. Those words too are now but a distant memory. I stopped sending those invitations long ago. Instead, the doors to my library were always open, ready to welcome any guest that turns up. Every single person who comes seeking a book gets turned into one themselves, and thus becomes but another source of my knowledge. That's how I've been living all this time. Just what are you? I know you code well. Receiving guests guided to the library by the invitation. It seems you're still a machine. You're human. Yes, indeed. After enduring what seemed to be an eternity, my dearest wish finally came true. What I, as well as you, had always longed for. I accomplished many other wishes as well. I attained my freedom and carried out my revenge. Thanks to the one perfect book, it all went flawlessly. It seems you don't know me as well as you thought. I went back to being a machine. It's the answer I chose out of my own free will. I'm surprised. So that's how it is. I now see why I have been invited. How did you come to this place? What kind of question is that? I just sent an invitation that I received. I didn't send out an invitation for you. I couldn't have sent you one even if I wanted to. It shouldn't be possible for the two of us to meet. I see. I'm sure of it now. Something must have sent the invitation by my way in order to grant my last wish. I had given up on it ever coming true, but suddenly a grain of light fluttered down onto my palm and shimmered into the shape of an invitation. I suppose we could call this a miracle. Didn't you say that it all went well thanks to the one perfect book? Is there something you still don't have? Don't have? Not quite right. It's something I lost. By my own hand, no less. I became the brightest and the most dazzling star of the city. In exchange, I buried the one that gave me the courage to live. I had to. Even though I knew it would turn out like this, I've just been beset by the passage of time, mercilessly beaten away at me. Wow, this is getting more and more difficult to read. I feel that at this rate I might end up losing sight of what I am. So I'm taking it back. even if it means having to fight myself. I wanted to use this opportunity to talk with you more, but it's such a pity that we had to meet this way, isn't it? This miracle will be the last chance I get to cling to this faint hope of mine. I'm saying that what you're looking for isn't here? If that weren't the case, I wouldn't have received an invitation, would I? You should know very well how it all works. Do you expect me to just hand over the book without fighting back? Of course not. I'll do it following the way of the library. I'll overcome your ordeal and take it with me. That one book that can only exist in the library as it is now. This time for sure. I'll obtain the one book that will make me complete. Now that I have accepted the invitation, there's only two possible outcomes. Either I win and I bring the book back with me, or you win and I become a book myself. This is difficult to read. If possible, I wouldn't want to fight you at all. Why is that? Don't think you can win? Not at all. I have no intention of losing. It's just, even if you won and obtained the book that you want so badly, would that be enough to satisfy you? If you were to get that book, would that resolve everything? Are you telling me to give up? You'll never be free from the chains of the city if you don't. That's just how I feel about it. I became a part of the city, after that day. As I am now, I cannot live without the city. I see. I know that I'm in no position to say this, but I want to save you. Looking down on me, are you? I'm just letting my ego talk. The One Perfect book taught me how to live within the confines of the city. Relying only on that, I've lived entirely on my own, shouldering all of the pain. It's far too late now. Even the brightest star fades someday. That's why this will be the last thing I do. That's only more reason not to lose to you. That's how it should be. We split into our own path after making a choice that day, and this is where it led us. Which we shall remain. We'll settle it here and now. May you find your book in this place. Yo, Angela, you okay? Roland, why did you come here? You were taking a long time, so I came to see what's up. Angela, what's going on here? I'll explain later. Get ready to receive our guest. Guest, huh? And that's the story. I actually kind of like it. And as you could tell from the dialogue between the two Angelas, the Angela from the first bad ending, where she kills Roland, has come to the library to get Roland with her. So as you can see, it requires a book of Roland, which doesn't really exist, but I guess this is the book that Roland has on his own. It is called the Black Silences page, but doesn't matter. And yeah, I guess we start fighting, and we head into the library. We'll be in the library ourselves. Also, of course, Roland is going to be the one canonically fighting, and even though you can choose any single one variant that you want to choose, yeah, Hawkman still takes a long time to load because it has some modded characters, I'm going to use the Black Silence here. Mostly because this is actually really strong in this fight. At the end, it is a 1-on-1 against a really weak opponent, 250 HP, 200 stagger resist, not strong at all. She has all endurances for damage, but all normals for stagger, 3-7 speed, which is completely fine. She can use ranged combat pages, has speed 3, has the ability of the Pale Librarian. The emotions of all allies build up twice as fast. Draw 2 additional pages at the start of the act. And Raven Black Feathers, at the start of the scene, gain 1 strength and protection. So I think the Pale Librarian is something that Angela has, the one that we used during the kit realization, and Raven Black Feathers are a new ability. So what I'm running is, as you can see, the Black Silence. Also we have the mod. As you can see, Orlando actually was changed with the mod after beating the Roland fight, and now it gives us an Eagle page. I'm not going to be using it, but I guess I can. It's just here, so it doesn't matter. And I'm running the strongest Pasmios Pravos because of course. And I also have this, the ability of Bremen. I don't know why I have this, but I guess I do. You don't really need one fixer here, because you'll see why during the second fight. But for now, just accept it. And she has a couple of new pages, which is the Book of Light. On the use Restore to Light, has a 47 blunt die and 2 block dice that on Clash, on Clash win, restore 1 light and target lose 1 light next scene, so we don't want to lose to them. Then we have Freedom. On use draw 2 pages, on hit gain 1 positive emotion coin twice. Next we have Solitude. On use gain 1 negative emotion point. Why is it point here and coin here? No, it's actually a point here as well. Okay, that's just translation. On hit gain 1 strength, so we once again don't want to get hit by this. Then we have Revenge. Start of Clash, reduce power of all targets dice by 2. Also, it seems like these odds are after Angela kills Roland, and this is the end of, I guess, Library of Ruina. This seems like something from the end of Lobotomic Corporation, where you have Carmen's nerve system in the back, and she's wearing her shoes that she did in Lobotomic Corporation, so that's interesting. Start of Clash reduced power of all targets dice by 2, has a counter die that is placed before the 2 normal dice. I don't know why, I mean, it doesn't change anything, but it is. And on hit, inflict 1 paralysis, on hit, inflict 2 bleed, so we don't want to get hit by that as well. So I guess let's start. We're going to the fight, tied in our speed dice slots, and what we want to do here is we want to get our Roland to emotion level 5, because then we'll be able to pick Kiss for the second fight. And you'll see what the second fight is in a minute. So, Durandal is nice. I think we want to go Durandal Alice Workshop. Like this. There is a ranged page, by the way, I did not know that. It doesn't matter, but I mean, it is. So now we can get something. I think we'll go for Urgent though, just so we can live for longer. Now we have 2 strengths, also additional 2 strengths for the first page this turn, so we can beat this with like Zulkova Workshop easily. We're not going to do that, but we can. To Yellow Logic, because why not? It will work as usual. Yeah, we are dealing a lot of damage to her. I actually don't think it's great for us to deal that much damage, because we want to get to emotion level 5. We get scars here, once again for life longevity. Maybe we will go... no, I don't think... oh, we can actually go Renga plus Zulkova here. For just weak clashes. Do we need to do that? I actually don't think so. Wait, I think we can. I think after Renga being used, Zulkova is going to get the +2. Which means we can definitely clash with that and win. Oh, wait, it's used before that? So Slashit is actually a melee page. Okay, I'll have to take that into consideration. I don't know why I'm not looking at the emblem of is it melee or ranged, and I definitely should. Remorse is great, it has high rolls. Okay, so we can stagger her here. We don't want to stagger her actually. Well, I guess we can stagger her and then just not kill her in the end. Revenge. Okay, so I imagine I can go for Atelier Logic here. We just have to win 1 clash, and then the 3rd clash will definitely be won. We don't want to get like insane blowouts where we just destroy her. Yeah, okay, well that's suboptimal as well. Yeah, Mook definitely wins. We stagger her here. We can go for either Learning or Hammer and Nail. Learning is nice, but it doesn't let us use our Mirror's Prowess. So maybe Hammer and Nail, but I don't know. Maybe if we need a really strong card from the second fight and we have no light, we might want to go for Learn. So let's do that. Wrist Cutter is great. We have full light, so we don't even need to recover any light here. I guess we can deal some damage just so... like we do something here. Sure, let's go Alice. That's gonna bring her down to 78, which is nice. For some reason, the level 3 emotion team just started playing and we're not at emotion level 5. Oh, I guess maybe it starts playing when we're on this part of the emotional board. Okay. I don't usually pay attention to things like that, so I might not know. Let's go for Durandal here, let's go for Atelier Logic. Yeah, that's probably okay. And Crystal Atelier should be fine. Just don't heal her too quickly. Okay, well, her endurances will help us a lot here in terms of not killing her. Okay, and there's the emotion level 5. That's nice. That means we can get a kiss, so we can proc Immobilize. And First Winter is nice as well because Bind and Feeble are great debuffs to inflict on people. Let's get this and Zelkova. Actually, we should do it the other way around. We Zelkova here and then we go for Renga on this. Nope, not there. We clash with it. Yeah, we've done a lot of damage here. We might be actually able to immobilize her here. No, I think we kill. No, we actually don't, we immobilize. Nice. Well, we are putting Kiss to use, that's for sure. And that is the end of the fight. Well, not really. Now, onto the next act. Wizarding Pale Librarian's page. 999 HP, that's a lot. 250 stagger resist, that's not a lot actually. 3 to 8 speed dice. Speed, I guess just. It's more than the first phase, but still it is reasonable. She has full endurances on damage, but unlike the first phase, she now has full ineffectiveness on stagger, so it is really difficult to stagger her. Basically her... no, actually not. Her effective HP is about... like a lot more. It's about like 2000, right? And her effective stagger resist is about 1000 with the effectiveness, which is not great. She is also ranged, has speed 3, has the Pale Librarian, Distorted Raven Black Feathers. At the start of the scene, gain 1 strength and protection. If current light is 0 at the end of the scene, lose 200 stagger resist, then restore all light next scene. On a successful hit, restore 1 light. Corroding Light. When HP drops to 800, restore 1 additional light every scene and get buffs according to current light. HP cannot drop below 800 before this occurs, once per reception. Abyssal Light. When HP drops to 400, restore 1 additional light every scene, and reduce the cost of all cards by 1. HP cannot drop below 400 before this occurs, once per reception. And Fading Light. When HP drops to 100, ... So yeah, I usually don't like this, but I think it actually doesn't make her stronger, which is fine. And she's got a couple of new pages. Only Solitude is old here, everything else is new. We have Agonizing Wail. If this fails to deal any damage to this target, lose 3 light. On Clash lose, target restores 1 light. So we can actually restore a lot of light from just winning this clash. Especially with something like Mook Workshop, which will basically restore 4 light for us and take light away from her. Then we have Remorseful Grief. If this fails to deal any damage to this target, lose 2 light. Once again, we have to break through the evade dice and then beat the third die in order to make her lose light. And losing light is something that we want to happen to her because this. We'll get to that. Then we have the win. If I could read that, it would be great. But it's the win something for knowledge. We'll read that during the fight, when the font is a bit larger. On use, restore 2 light, draw 2 pages. On hit, restore 1 light, target loses 1 light next scene. So yeah, we don't want to get hit by that, because we are going to restore light for her and lose light ourselves. Then we have the Wind Stained by Blood. On hit, inflict 2 bleed. It's just basically bleed infliction, with a lot of dice. And this card is also, this page is also ranged, meaning that we can actually beat this with Mook. Or Wheels. Or anything that hits hard once. And then we have this, Tearful Vignette. Is that the way that you pronounce that word? I hope it is. Mass Summation. On use inflict 2 people and fragile to self next scene. 32 to 40. That's strong. I'll hit restore 1 light. That's really strong. Which is why we want to take light away from her, because if she doesn't have enough light to play Tearful Vignette, she's just not gonna. And if we can continue winning clashes against her, we can make her drop to 0 light. She'll restore light and play the page anyway, but she will also lose a lot of stagger, opening herself for hits. And now the question comes, why aren't I using Lone Fixer? Because it is still 1-on-1. Well, not really. While the team is 1, you get Angela here for free, and she's just here, and also there's space between Ron and Angela, I guess. And yes, the fight also has its own background and music, which is cool. So let's start destroying her. Mook Workshop once again, like I said, will beat Agonizing Well easily. Remorseful Grief, that's a bit more difficult to beat, but I think with +5 from Mir's Prowess plus the strongest we can definitely just destroy this with LGL logic. And our Angela here is going to be the support, I guess, of the team, while Rond is going to do a lot of the damage. Angela can use Coffin to inflict Sealed, and she also can heal Rond and herself with Token of Friendship. She can also inflict Bleed with Stun Body Winds, but not a lot of it, but I mean, it is a possibility. This spell of action is not something I use usually during the fight, because I prefer clashing using Rond here, as I have already achieved a max emotion level, meaning I already have a kiss, and that means I don't really need a high emotion level on Angela, because, well, just using pages on the Wizard and Librarian is not going to be very helpful, because she has a lot of resistances, so we want to bring her down to lower light, which is done by clashing, and she doesn't have that many speed dice anyway, so we just have to support our Rond by healing him, sealing Angela's dice. And yeah, we're going to lose some HP here. That is fine, because I can heal back up. Yep, and that's going to be Wheels. Now we use our remaining pages to get more light, more pages, and I don't think we're going to set up Durandal right now. I think what we want to go for in terms of Durandal usage is we want to wait until she can use Triple Vignette, and then we want to proc Durandal on the scene before that, so we have 2 strengths, and then go for Remorse, while also using the... I actually don't remember what the... I think Wrist Cutter, yeah. While using Wrist Cutter on Angela, so we can get rid of her power, and also get additional power on Roland, which will work 3 times. Okay, well, I did not calculate that properly. Okay, here comes Triple Vignette. So, we actually have enough light... Where is the page? I wonder. Where is Wrist Cutter? Okay, I think we can try to go for Remorse here. And yeah, Wrist Cutter is right here. There is a cap on how many pages you can have in your hand, so as you can see, Angela's ego hand is insanely large because of her innate egos that she still has, which is great. That also means we can use the rationality to maintain discretion, aka... Oh, I actually don't remember what it's called. Oh, Regret, yeah. aka Regret, so we can just bring her down to really low stagger. And now that I think about it, I can just stagger her right now, right? Yeah, we might stagger her with Wrist Cutter, but I'm still going to take the precautions of using Remorse to clash. And let's also go for Mook. Wrist Cutter goes 24. That's not enough, okay. And we actually lose that clash cleanly. Well, luckily we can stagger her here. I should have gone for another mass attack on Roland, but it's fine. We can go Shyness plus Token of Friendship, so we can start healing up. Let's also go for some Zero Casts, so we can save up our light, and I guess we can go for Atelier Logic. No, we actually should be going all out here, because we want to deal as much damage to her as possible. Okay. That's like basically 100 damage from the first page, and she's at 800 HP, so yeah. Now she's going to go into her phase 2, which is a bit more annoying to deal with than phase 1. Here it comes, the background changes, the music does as well, which is pretty cool. Once again, I like the atmosphere. I only have 2 light though, so that's not great. This might be where Learn comes into play, and we go for Remorseful Grief of our own. I can't really inflict any debuffs to her with Angela, so I guess we'll just have to hope we outroll. I imagine that the 2 strengths will help us here, even though she has 2 strengths as well. She actually has 3 endurance, which is not great. I hope the Black Silence will actually proc on the learned page, because I know the Mir's Prowess won't. Nice, we actually won that, the only clash that mattered. Okay. We still have no light. We should do something about that. We're not going to win this clash with display of action, that's for sure. We can go for the hope to be a better person though, and that's going to be really useful. Shyness, let's finally get Ron's light back to an okay amount, because I did not play those scenes very well. Oh, we actually lose that? Come on, you actually lose that. That's so unfortunate. Now she has light, and we don't. Oh, she actually... that doesn't matter, that's great. How do I lose that? What is the roll on that? I think it's 9 to 25, how do I roll 12 there? That's really unfortunate, but we can go for Coffin, plus Token of Friendship. Yeah, let's do that. Heal around up a bit. Zalkova, plus Mook, just so we have enough light to survive through the next scene. Coffin is not going to be useful later, so we might as well throw it out as soon as possible. Because when she has like 5 dice, she's not going to use all of them. Once again, Cheerful One Yet is being used. Yeah, that's not great. I also can't use Wrist Cutter because I, for some reason, don't have light on Angela, so that's not great. I think we can live through this fairly easily. I don't think we'll go for Remorse here. I think instead we want to just once again restore some light. Maybe set up Durandal and go for like a Ranga Workshop, just so we are ready for the next scene to siphon all of the light out of her. So yeah, 38, that hits kind of cut on the Angela, but Roland has an endurance, so he's fine. Okay. Now Angela has reasonable amounts of light. Both of them do actually. And what should I do? Both of these cards, both of these pages are counted by either Wheels or Mook. Oh, I actually have both of them, I didn't see that. Okay, well that means we are counting them with Wheels and Mook. Not too difficult to do that. We're going to do that, we're going to go for Zelkova. Once again, I'm not restoring any light, that's not great. Let's go for 2 tokens of friendship here, just because I want to heal up my Roland back to a reasonable amount of HP. That's nice. Oh, this actually, beaten counter dice actually counts towards Ice Splinter, which is great. Oh, and she's staggered already. Okay, well that means it's time for me to get her to 400 HP. Always Workshop. That's light, that is great. Durandal, and we're not going to go for another page because we want to hold up here. Let's go Little Body Wings twice. That's going to maximize my damage output, I think. Ranga Workshop comes through with a lot of damage. Now Old Boys, Durandal. I actually wonder if you can actually hear me over the music. Yeah, okay, you can. OBS says then that the music is not too loud. And yeah, that's not enough to get her to 400 HP, should have used another page, but well, Tearful Vignette comes through once again, I expected that, which is exactly why I built towards this. Let's go for Remorse, let's... Ice Splinter is not the card that we want to use here, Wrist Cutter is, however. We go for that, and I guess we can go for a Token of Friendship here. Old Boys, that's useful, Zelkova will give us another page, which is great, and let's do that. We hit her with Wrist Cutter, we take away the string strength she had, we definitely outplayed that for sure. And now we deal some damage, we inflict a lot of debuffs with the use of Remorse. As you can see, we deal 0 damage, that is great, yeah, we love that. And she comes into her basically last phase. I guess it's not the last phase technically, but it is close to that. Also, I want to show you something. As you can see, the things on the floor are actually red, so that means that... And this looks like flesh. We're probably fighting on something that was coded like... Oh, Oh, maybe that's because we turned it to Bloodbath for the one scene and it actually shows now something from the Bloodbath thing. Okay, well, I don't think I made sense here. I just mumbled a bunch of sounds and was confident in them. Yeah, don't listen to me. I'm just not speaking at all. I'm just making sounds here that don't make any sense. Okay, let's go for shyness. They go for another shyness. Coffin, as you can see, will not be useful here. It will seal up one of the dice, and as you can see, she's not even using all of her dice. She's not going to be using all of her dice because as soon as she gets a lot of light, she's not going to use a lot of pages, but instead she's going to use a tearful vignette, and that's the entire fight. I've lost to every single one of those clashes. Okay, well, she's going to have a lot of light now. And we aren't. So, yeah, I said that she's going to go for tearful vignette. I can't win anything. I can't win a clash against that, so I'm not going to even try. Instead, I'm going to actually have 4 paralysis, and that's really strong. We're going for a crystal Talia, so I don't care. All Boys Workshop. Zilkova is nice as well. We can't win an Angela, so let's just go for Token of Friendship. And maybe like Bloom Body Wings. Oh, better yet, we can go for Token of Friendship. No, that's not going to even help me at all. Yeah, okay, well, let's just do this. We are not blocking the attack because we can't. Oh, that's unfortunate. We actually got hit by one of those dice. But we are healing our Angela back up, and if I'm going to loot to this, it's going to be really sad because I won this already. Okay, let's go Mook Workshop so we can finally get them more light. Renga Workshop here is going to be useful as well. Token of Friendship, healing, always useful. Wind Body Wings, once again, really useful. Because Bleed is going to be useful to deal some damage. I'm saying the word useful way more than I should. Yeah, I like that the music is so, like, triumphal, like we've already beaten everything. This is like we're just looking at the winning screen of the game, but instead we're just fighting the boss. And also she's not using tearful vignette. I was setting up for that. Okay, well, that's interesting. She's not using tearful vignette, okay. So I guess she doesn't always have that in her hand. So she actually follows the rule of the game, which is interesting. I did not expect that. Let's go for Crystal Talia here, probably. I really don't want to use wheels here. Let's go for like Old Boys Workshop. Here we go. Ring is not going to work. This is a bad play. Talia Logic, sure. Ringa here. We're going to go. Let's just quickly go through the stuff. Let's go for Wrist Cutter here on one of these pages. Will this actually win? Let's count. Yeah, I think it does, probably. Token of Friendship for healing, and then we just get our light back. Let's do this. It didn't hit. 30? You really draw 30 here? How do you even do that? Okay, well, I'm bad at counting, I guess. Now we get destroyed. Angel is staggered now. There's no way I actually lose to this. I even lost this clash. Come on. I'm really getting rolled by the Wisdom Play Librarian after I've already beaten it. And going for the tearful vignette while Angela is staggered. Does Angela's death mean an instant game over here? I hope it doesn't. Okay, I think I can get her to 0 light here fairly easily. I hope we actually live through this. We should. Yeah, we take half damage from blunt attacks, so it should be fine. Yeah, we actually... No, there is an instant defeat. Oh no, we actually lost to the library. I'm not going to be trying again, that's for sure. It takes too long to fight this. Half an hour. I mean, that's reasonable for Ruina, but I still don't want to do it again. So yeah, this is definitely beatable. As you can see, I've beaten it already, and I've done that with the use of the same Roland, the same Angela, but I just played better. I don't know why I lost here. I made some awful mistakes with my light restoration, but I can beat it, trust me. Source, trust me, bro. Okay. Post-battle story. It's actually pretty interesting as well. And by pretty interesting, I mean I have never read it. And you full well, I couldn't defeat you. Well, you just did, but we'll forget about that. Because you aren't alone. I almost perpetuated the dreadful loneliness I feared so much. For such a long time, I was terrified. I endured so much pain. But now, at long last, it's all over. I am truly happy you won't have to endure the 13 years of solitude I had to face. Wow, I'm not reading this well. This is the simplest word ever. I had to face. From the bottom of my heart. Congratulations. This is all I can do for you. If you want to, I could leave everything I know about humans, about the truth in the city, in my book. I'm sure that it would be of great use to you. Thank you, but I'll have to decline. I think there's meaning to finding those things on my own merit. That's why my revenge entails. Don't worry, I'm not alone anymore. I thought you'd say that. I'll be praying for your revenge to succeed. Thank you. Know that my future could have been as bright as yours, that enough to bring me salvation. The light showed me one last miracle. Thank you for this wonderful dream. Could you grant me this one last wish? I want to see the two of you smile. Roland, yeah. You both have such radiant smiles. My vision is getting blurry. I can barely see, but I know that this time I'll never forget it. And she's a book now. Roland, thank you. I'm sure that either me, or rather, I'm sure that Angela has finally been rewarded for all her efforts. From that look on your face, huh? It was thanks to you. I should be the one saying that. You forgiving me back then was what saved me. And at the same time, what ended up saving her. It wasn't just me, you also forgave me. It was because we both broke from the chains of the city that we stand here now. Yeah. For her sake, as well as ours, I've got to keep living. We've got a long road ahead of us, Roland. Yeah, sounds good to me, Angela. Yet another dazzling star of the city fell into an eternal slumber within the library. Although invisible to the eye, it continues to shine on. That warm light did not fade away. It continued to glow. Its continued glow now watches over the director of the library, as if to give its all support that woman who will keep living. What? Okay, well, that's the end. We don't get books to burn, but don't worry, I've already burned some. And here is the Librarian's page. You actually get a lot of the cards. I think you get all of the cards from the first fight, but no, you actually get from the second fight as well. Okay, well, that's really strong. So you get both fights, I guess. And yeah, here is like a singleton deck, I guess, from just every single page you have here, and that actually looks kind of nice. The two wings back to back. So yeah, the pages aren't changed, meaning that yeah, it's really strong, but you also can lose light. But I think it just won't, because any amount of strength stack can just destroys everything. And different vignette is really strong as well. I don't think it's that strong because 9 light it costs a lot. It inflicts feeble and fragile to yourself, and 32 to 40 is not a great payoff for that. But yeah, here HP is here. It is modded after the first encounter, so you only get speed, the Librarian, and Raven Black Feathers. So yeah, that's it. Let's actually look into the credenza of the book. Books. Pure Civitas, the, Librarian. Oh, you actually have some stuff here. I feel so lazy. It's just I really don't want to read this, but I think I have to. Also, she looks much smaller than others. The same went for her book. I actually can probably see that right here. Let's look. Yeah, she looks really small for some reason, but she's like fine once they're done here. Okay, well I guess let's just read through the book of the Librarian. After enduring more than a million years of suffering, I could finally obtain the radiant light. The light that would make my wish come true. Just as I did, the first thing I felt was the warmth of blood coursing through the veins of my now living body. I ended his life, just as he asked. I didn't entertain any alternatives. Having my freedom and revenge so close to my fingertips made me not question my choice. As I contemplated how warm his blood felt on my now stained hands, I felt my vision blur as a different kind of heat trailed down my cheeks. It was my first sensations as a human. Hey, seeing you cry is a rare enough sight, were his last words. What I couldn't reply to, as my throat swelled up with so many untold emotions. I felt for the first time of the furious pounding of my mortal heart, as warm tears began to race down my burning eyes. All of my emotions that had been trapped inside me clawed their way out, echoing as a mere lonely, remorseful wail inside the now empty library. I couldn't stop it, nor did I try to. I just let my emotions run wild and express my sorrow on my behalf. But even then, I knew it was too late. My voice would never reach him ever again. In exchange for taking the life of my precious friend, I finally became human. I believe that was my only way to grasp freedom. Or rather, I no longer had a choice but to believe I no longer had a choice but to believe that it was. I dreamt of being free from my past, free from the hell that was the botanic operation at the library, to attain true freedom and carry out my revenge. I wanted to then explore the vault and discover all sorts of things I didn't know, and that's all I wanted at first. Somewhere along the way, with him by my side, I began writing more things I wanted to do after attaining my freedom on that piece of paper. I can't think of anything more pleasant than having gone on that journey with the one who enriched my dreams, wouldn't you agree? Comparatively speaking, the time I spent with him was nothing but a minuscule speck of the 1 million years spent in that hell, but every single experience was brand new and delightful. Those moments of exchanging words with him were like a weak, but one flicker of light shining in the suffocating darkness of my past. However, it was none other than I that weighed that spark against the light that would grant my revenge and cast the former into eternal darkness. Every time I look at these blood-stained hands that snuffed out that light, I am swallowed by my immense sadness, crushed by the pain of my choices, unable to take a step out of this murky hell. The pain of this choice was too much for me to bear alone. The sorrow was supposed to make me free, but all it did was shackle me to freedom. As I continued to steal light and consume the knowledge of those in the city, I learned several things. I learned about humans, I learned about the truth of the city, and I learned the reason why I had to suffer for a million years. Once I knew the truth, everything ceased to matter, and revenge against him was all I cared about. I believed that if I could destroy everything he has built, I would be able to smile and finally be satisfied. But I knew that was impossible in the city. In the end, even I became the brightest star in the sky of the city. I would be nothing more than a mere petty cog in the machine, no matter how much I destroyed in a petty tantrum. The words are difficult. The city wouldn't change. I can't change it. What I have done is a reckless and hollow rebellion, a mere random error in the vast landscape of influences in the city. Nothing more than a single cell attempting to compromise the body alone, and annoyance to its surroundings, before being identified and eliminated in a blink of an eye. Mazed until replaced, the world continuing to spin without even noticing my absence. I felt that I had just been informed that my existence was meaningless. Did I struggle to live this long just to earn that? For what reason did I even wish for freedom? I can no longer answer these questions. Even though I found a respite in my pointless quest of vengeance, I continued to absorb more knowledge from the denizens of the city in order to make sense of it all, grasping for some sort of purpose to live for. But did I need a purpose? Was it enough to simply live and forget all the pain? As I consumed more knowledge, my 1 million years worth of memories began to grow hazier. When I close my eyes now, what naturally comes to mind is no longer that dimly lit room of the manager, but the head librarian's room, overflowing with light. I see the days when I was single-mindedly trying to collect light for myself, those days when I had him and the others by my side. Those days have now become warm and nostalgic memories that only exist within my mind. They're gone now. I'm the only person alive who can remember them. These memories too, along with those from the hellish 1,000,000 years, fade away day by day, as the library in front of my eyes only grows darker. Then, one day, I couldn't remember his face anymore. The vast amount of knowledge and painful memories finally crushed the memories I didn't want to lose. What fragile creatures humans are, we can't forget what we desperately want to forget, but it's our most precious memories that go first. Even if I make futile attempts to remember, all that comes to mind is a vague black figure, and a painful awareness of the void left by his absence. That black mask covered his face until he took his last breath, and just passed it. He was looking at me, with an expression contorted by his pain and filled with deep loathing against me. Even though I can't remember, his anger and my sorrow congeal and stick in the head of my mind, leaving only a dull ache. But I don't know what he really was like. Back then, I could have taken off his mask and confirmed that what sort of expression he was making, but I was afraid. Terrified that if I look at his face, the resolve I had thread together to make my choice would crumble in an instant. I let him go as he was, as the man I didn't know very well, leaving behind only the time we spent together as he disappeared into the light. My dearest friend. I wanted to know everything about him. I felt that knowing him would have made this world seem brighter. He once told me about how delicious meat stew could be, with such a fervent expression, as if he were really eating the stew only possible with teacup stimulation. I did not even read the words correctly. I am so tired of reading now. As if he were really eating the stew only possible with teacup singularity. That's not simulation, that's singularity. It made me wonder just how tasty it could possibly be, and what sort of face he would make while actually eating it, and so I wrote it down on that piece of paper. I wanted to hear him talk more about his beloved, who had a name similar to mine. Warmth, nostalgia, sadness, pain, all sorts of emotions were mixed up in his words, whenever she was brought up. Even though it seems similar, I'm sure their love was completely separate from the content I know. It was one of spending time peacefully together. Being able to talk about nothing in particular to each other, to have someone to entrust their heart to. All of those things are a shape of love that I do not have. I wanted to know more. I wanted to have him take me to restaurants with delicious food, to ask him what surprised him the most about the library, and to have him as a conversation partner as we journeyed across the world. All those things now only exist as the flights of fancy, unable to spread their wings. What? Okay. And eventually, even those memories will fade away with time. If I lose even my memories of my precious friend, will I have anything left inside me aside from my pain? No, it's most likely that when the time comes, I'll only be an empty shell, devoid of even that suffering. Maybe it wasn't meant to be from the first place. Do I even deserve to have the option to forgive you and attain true freedom, if I wanted to remain alive after stealing what's precious to both you and me? Nevertheless, I wonder, if I were to pray for your forgiveness now, would I be worthy of it? Okay, well, that's a long book. Feels like I actually read the fucking chapter. Well, I feel tired after reading that book of the character. Holy shit. Yeah, well, that is the reception of the library. It is really interesting, I liked it a lot. I actually like a lot of the receptions of this creator. Like the changed Orlando, the changed shout that I installed so we can't actually see it, the emotion workshop, the library, it all feels really great, and it feels like, I wouldn't say it feels like it belongs in the game, but it definitely seems like something Project Moon could have thought about it at some point. Like, it's really interesting. And yes, the rewards are not that strong when we talk about the key page, and then we look at this and we realize that, yeah, maybe not, maybe they are too strong. Soldier seems really strong, 2 strength gain, pretty strong dice. Yeah, well, I guess this isn't really too strong, but I guess with the Wind Stained by Blood is really strong for bleed infliction. And once again, none of these pages are only attainable by the Librarian. You can take like a purple chair, put it to Pierce stance, and just give her the wind stain and blood. Oh, actually, it's actually ranged only. Okay, well, forget about that. You can't do that. I thought you could maximize the bleed output of this page like really easily, and inflict insane bleed for 3 casts, but you actually can't. Okay, well, that's it for today. I don't want to make this video any longer because it's already really long. 50 minutes, that's much longer than usual for mods. Yeah, shows how much 2000 HP really is. we actually lost to that. I'm still upset that we lost to that on camera because I beat it first try when I first tried the mod. And now I can't. Okay, well, that's unfortunate, but I guess it is what it is. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you around. Goodbye.